Are you someone who just doesn't have a whole lot of time to grind GTA Online? Do you only log in during the weekends after a hard day of work, hoping to make enough GTA money so that you can finally afford that sweet new car that you've been eyeing for the past month? Well, you could just buy a shark card and give in to Rockstar's greed to make things a bit easier for yourself. Or you could follow the routine I'm about to show you in this video and make millions of dollars in one single day. And I'm not exaggerating here. Depending on how much time you spend per gameplay session and the businesses that you own, you can easily clear $7 million in one day, which amounts to just $14 million over the course of your weekend. Add that up over 1 month and you're making over $50 million in game. Just for reference, that's more than you get from 5 Megalodon shark cards, which by the way will cost you $500 in total, and at this point in the game's life cycle they are a complete ripoff for the value you're getting in game from them. That's also the same cost as a brand new video game console, so if you think about it, I'm basically saving you an entire PS5's worth of money every month through this guide, and you only have to play a couple days a week to get absolutely loaded in GTA Online. Trust me, as stingy as Rockstar can get with their economy in this game, they've also given the player plenty of ways to grind money for free if you know what you're doing. And that's why I'm here today, to help you establish a solid foundation for your daily gameplay grind, one that's optimized for efficiency, and also one that's designed to make you loads of cash in such a short amount of time. But before we begin, you need to own a few businesses, otherwise it will be impossible to make millions of dollars a day. So we're talking MC businesses like the Coca-Cola lockup and the math lab, the CEO cargo warehouse, vehicle warehouse, auto shop, etc. You need to have at least 2 or 3 big earners in your collection before you start grinding with this method. The basic theory is that we'll start our day off with a few setup tasks to warm up, and then we'll gradually transition to supplying our businesses or selling them if they're already full of product. After that, we move into heists, or once those are on cooldown, we can run some other contract missions or go back to resupplying our businesses. The idea here is to maximize our income density over a certain period of time. Sure, you could rob stores all day like a 2-bit thug fresh out of prison, and that'll keep you busy for a while, but you'll also look like a complete moron to anyone who spent more than 5 minutes in GTA. And if you're brand new and don't own anything, check out my GTA Online Beginner's Guide. I definitely also recommend my video on the 25 smartest investments that you can make in this game, so you know exactly which businesses and vehicles will offer you the most value. What I'm trying to do here with this guide is select tasks that pay really well for the amount of time that you spend, and then I'm spacing these out in a pattern that blends in seamlessly with everything else there is, so there's no dead zones as you go from one task to another. It's like fitting all the pieces into a jigsaw puzzle. While your heist is on cooldown, you're selling your businesses. While your bunker is generating product, you're out there doing auto shop contract robberies. While your salvage yard is stripping vehicles for parts, you're doing security contracts and payphone hits. The routine that I'm providing here is very flexible, so you can swap whatever tasks in and out that you want depending on what you own, and more importantly, what you like. Because even though we're grinding for money, we also want to switch things up every once in a while to make it fun. If you take away anything from this video, it should be the thought process behind creating your very own daily grind routine that will earn you millions of dollars. And once you've figured out a plan that works for you, that's when you'll start enjoying the process and you'll figure out a whole new side to GTA Online. Okay, let's start things out with a few warm-up tasks, as I like to call them. These are going to set you up with supplies, snacks, and ammo that you can use for the rest of the day, and you'll also earn a little bit of cash on the side. I like to spawn into my Hallwick agency because then I can stock up on armor, ammo, and snacks all in one place right next to my bedroom. From there, I go down a floor to the office area and pick up my passive cash from the wall safe. This caps out at $20,000 if you do 201 security contracts, so make sure you empty that safe daily, as it will give you all the money you need for an entire day's worth of ammo and armor. Then, from my agency office, I can either start a security contract, or I can take the chopper and pay a visit to my nightclub, where I do a bouncer mission or VIP escort mission to boost my nightclub's popularity. If you have that agency at the Hallwick location, it's even quicker because the West Vinewood and downtown nightclub locations are going to be right next to your agency. That's why I like the Hallwick agency location. I always check into my nightclub every 48 minutes to 1 hour to keep that popularity maxed out because I don't want to miss out on my $50,000 of passive income. If you have a terabyte with a master control terminal, you can just call it into wherever you are in the city and rebook a DJ for $10,000 to get a similar effect, but it's also probably just easier to spawn into your agency and hop into an oppressor or chopper for a quick trip to the nightclub because you're starting your session, it's for free, and the popularity boost that you get from a bouncer or VIP escort mission is higher than the one that you get for rebooking a DJ. But after that, you can check in with your MC businesses to view stock levels and supply status. I don't do the sell missions anymore, I just like to sell to street dealers, but what you can also do is just call up Mutt so you can view your Acid Lab stock levels. Then I bring in my terabyte again so I can view stock and supply for all my other businesses too, like the bunker, as well as the Coca-Cola lockup and more. At this point, I'll also do the daily activities like G's Cash and hit up a stash house to get a free resupply for one of my businesses in the game. And if my acid lab is full or close to full, I'll just start a sell mission for that because it takes around 3 hours to get a full bar of product, and you'll make about $351,000 before any high demand bonuses. I usually do my sells in invite only sessions just because I play on PC and I don't want to deal with cheaters crashing my game in a public session, but you can get up to 50% more money if you're in a public lobby with at least 20 other players. With the acid lab sold, I'll either do a sell mission for one of my MC businesses if I want to do it, or I'll just hit up the bunker for a quick ammunition drop, which gives me $50,000. As far as MC businesses go, the most profitable ones are going to be the Coca-Cola lockup, the math lab, as well as the counterfeit cash factory. Like I said, I don't do a whole lot of these sell missions because they're just not really worth it for the time you spent selling and the money you're making, but you can still sell the Coca-Cola, the math, as well as the grass to street dealers. If you do want to do sell missions though, with a full bar of stock in the Coca-Cola lockup, you can expect to make around $450,000 an hour if you go for the long distance sell mission. Again, public lobby bonuses are extra on top of this. These are just the base figures before any high demand bonuses or double money weekly events. I'll end up resupplying MC businesses and doing the sales after the bunker because the bunker does take longer to build up stock and it requires multiple resupplies. So from a time efficiency perspective, it's probably better to take care of that and then do the MC businesses while it's quote unquote recharging. By the way, a full bunker is worth over $1 million, and the easiest way to do it solo is by using a Sparrow, Deluxo, Oppressor, or even some other flying vehicle to get back to the starting point after each delivery. Or you could also do a partial sale, just resupply the business once, and then do a sale mission just to guarantee a single delivery vehicle each time. If you have a special cargo warehouse or hangar, now is definitely time to source those crates. For the CEO cargo warehouse, a large warehouse with 111 crates is worth $2.2 million at $20,000 per crate sold, and it costs you $666,000 to fill up the warehouse. That's 37 source missions at $18,000 each, so your net profit is just over $1.5 million per large warehouse. Ideally, you want 2 of these so you can source crates for 1 while the other is on cooldown, and if Rockstar drops a double money bonus on special cargo, you can make a profit of over $3.7 million from a single warehouse, or $7.4 million from 2. Sell missions definitely take less than 30 minutes, and if it's a sell day, you're easily boosting your net worth by $3 to $6 million in a single gameplay session. But if you don't want to farm these crates manually, that's totally okay, because just talk to your warehouse technicians inside of your warehouses, pay them $7,500 to go out and source crates passively for you. Most of the time they'll bring back 1, it's RNG, but they sometimes can bring back 2 or even 3 special cargo crates for you. And that's why I think that you should definitely work special cargo sourcing into your daily grind, because this is a long-term investment and the potential payoff at the end is much bigger than any other business in the game. At this point, you should be an hour and a half into your grind. We're pretty much set with all the passive income for the day. There's just one final thing to check: your nightclub warehouse, which you should be selling every 20 real life hours, because that's when your Coca-Cola, cash, as well as the math will be maxed out inside of that business. So go ahead and do a sell mission if that's available. And now we can move on to all of the active grinding content, which includes contracts and heists. I like to kick things off with a Dr. Dre contract or Cayo Perico run, depending on how much time I have at hand. Dr. Dre takes around 1.5 to 2 hours for $1.1 million in terms of total payout, while Cayo Perico gives you on average $1 million for about an hour's worth of work. Cayo is definitely still the best money grinding method in the entire game. I personally don't want to get burnt out playing this game, and Cayo Perico to me is like collecting in Red Dead Online. I'm just so sick of it, so I'll usually cycle between the contract, maybe sometimes Cayo, and alternate methods, maybe throw in a Diamond Casino heist every once in a while if I've got a buddy with me, things like that. But once my main heist of the day is on cooldown, I'll fill that gap with something like the Cluck and Bell farm raid, which gives you $500,000 and takes 45 minutes to do. Either that, or I'll do some auto shop heists. The ECU job pays $170,000 for about 25 minutes of work, but the Uni Depository contract will give you $300,000 for only 20 minutes of time spent playing it. You can also do the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions on hard mode for $750,000. That'll take you 15 minutes more than the Cluck and Bell farm raid, so call it an hour for $250,000 more dollars. That's really nice. And then to close things off, I'll also check my salvage yard as well as the garment factory, and maybe do a few FIB files or vehicle robberies. I try and do at least one salvage yard vehicle robbery every 2 days, because you only get 3 unique robberies every real life week, so I space these out across the entire week. As for the FIB files, I do the priority file first for the week, as it pays nearly $300,000 or $350,000 with the bonus objectives for only 20 to 25 minutes of your time, and you can only do it once a week, so you might as well do it. Then you can cycle between the remaining 3 files that pay about $200,000 each if you include those bonus objectives, and 3 can be done in an hour total. My preferred cycle and way to grind these would be the Fine Art file as well as Project Breakaway. The Black Box as well as Brute Force just take a little bit too long, and the missions are a little bit more tedious when it comes to the finales, in my opinion. But depending on which parts of this routine you followed so far, you should now be approximately 4 hours in, which means it's time to call up your acid lab for a final sell mission before you log off. And also maybe do a couple of tow truck missions for your salvage yard or even your auto shop client deliveries, exporting mixed goods, bike deliveries at the MC Clubhouse, things like that. So your salvage yard can, one, keep generating wall safe money while you're offline, but also you take care of your other businesses. And when it comes to the tow truck missions, it's about $40,000 to $60,000 per salvaged car, and you can have 2 of them active at the same time if you purchase that extra lift. Now it's time to finally check our total income for the day, and if we add up all the money we made from the passive businesses, our odd jobs, heists, contracts, and robberies over a period of 4 hours, we end up with nearly $3.5 million. I know this can vary depending on which tasks you did, but let me break this down for you. $350,000 from the acid lab, $420,000 from a full Coca-Cola lockup cell if you did it, $1 million or so from Kaio or Dr. Dre, another $1 million from either bunker or the nightclub cell mission, depending on which one you do, $300,000 from a salvage yard robbery and also a union depository job, and finally $350,000 from the FIB priority file for the week. You can switch things up depending on the businesses that you own and their stock situation. For example, instead of spawning into the agency, if you own a casino, you can spawn into that and spin the wheel. Maybe even collect your passive income from all your business wall safes before heading to your MC businesses, for example. Or you could start things off at your bail office, grab the most wanted target for the day for a quick $125,000, and then transition to your salvage yard and do one of the 3 weekly vehicle robberies for $300,000 to $400,000 each. Sometimes Rockstar will put any of this content on double money bonuses. So for example, this week at the time of making this video, we actually have the double money on the FIB file missions, which by the time you're watching this, it may be a couple weeks since that's passed, but either way, you could see how all these businesses are kept up with and kept alive with the weekly update bonuses, and that should incentivize you to grind these and fit them into your daily grind to maximize your income in GTA Online. But that's all I've got for this video, guys. Let me know how you set up your personal routine in this game and your schedule for the day in GTA, how much of a focus that you place on pure money grind versus fun. I like a balance of both. Also, I have a speedrun mindset when it comes to PvE content, so I get my enjoyment out of being fast and efficient and making as much money in the shortest amount of time as possible in this game. But no matter what, I definitely recommend you unlock all the businesses, even the ones that are kind of mediocre or the ones you hear people calling trash, so that you have more than enough options to play in the future if you so choose. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, check out my live streams, twitch.tv/hazardoushtv, but also check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.